Hi, my name is Carlos Trujillo, and I'm a professional off-road racer from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and CEO of Instrumental LLC. I own a 1450 Pro truck, and I race in the Pro UTV class as well. I've been on TV many times, multiple interviews highlighting my talents. I've raced in the 2018 and 2019 World Championship, finishing as high as 8th in my class. I've been able to work with great partners along the way, and I'm truly blessed when it comes to off-road racing. If you want to know the steps it takes to be a professional off-road racer, this is what it takes. Hi, welcome to Racing Secrets and Tips. I'm your host, Carlos Trujillo. Today we're going to be talking about outworking your peers. This is something you have to do. This is your job. This is what everyone else is doing, and you want that position. So you got to outwork your peers. There's no way around this. The grind is real. You have to stay on your grind 24/7. There's no way about that. No other way around that. The early bird gets the worm. It's all about financing. You have to get some money. You have to get it together. You have to really, really be good at bringing it in, especially if you're starting from scratch. I started from scratch. I started from nothing, and little by little by little, you have to keep getting where you need to go. You have to stay with your emails. You have to keep up with everything that has, anything to do with meetings. Meetings make money. Knowledge is the grind. You have to go to these meetings and you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know what your goals are, and you have to know that by keeping your knowledge grind 24/7. So let's dive right into this. The 24/7 grind, it means that sleep is an option. There's only so many hours in a day. 24 hours, you sleep 8 hours a day, that's a third of your life. You're not going to keep up with everything that's going on. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you don't get an option. There's races you have to drive to. There's meetings you have to be around. There's too much things going on for you to be sleeping 8 hours a day. When you get time for vacation, when you get on top of your game and you have breaks, then yeah, you can rest. Go be with your family. Go sit at home. Go whatever you want to do. But if you're going to compete, if you're going to stay on your grind, there's only so many hours in the day. Sleep is an option. Putting in the hours, you get so many hours in a day. Putting in those extra hours a day, it will pay off. When you are outworking your peers, the behind the scenes, what you're doing that you're not getting the instant gratification, down the road is going to pay off. You're going to be ready for it to pay off then. If everything always paid off immediately, there'd be no reason to work as hard. The hard work behind the scenes pays off. It will come full cycle. You'll see it. The benefits of it is amazing because you don't see it right off the bat. You see it unfold. And when you see the behind the scenes work start to really unfold, it's a thing of beauty because you watered it, you cultivated it, you waited for it, and then eventually it came to harvest that you were ready, and all the behind the scenes, here you go. That's the way it works. And you have to pace yourself. It's a 24/7 grind. There's only so many hours in the day, but you still want to be happy. You want to make sure that you're not burning yourself out. Otherwise, the time lapses of going really hard and then not going, and then being back and forth, it shows the stability of your career, and it shows it to the sponsors. It shows it to everybody else out there that's taking it seriously as a full-time job for years and decades on it. And that's something you have to really take serious, is your mental health and making sure that you pace yourself and making sure that you're happy with where you're at. You have to be diligent. You have to be out there. You have to write lists. If you're diligent and you're writing lists, it's not going to overwhelm you. And just follow through. Just keep chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. If you write a good list every single day, you finish that out, a month from now, everything that's on each one of those lists, you accomplish quite a bit of stuff. And you just keep progressing and progressing into bigger and better lists that are moving you closer and closer to where you want to be and what you really intended from the get-go. That's really the biggest part about the grind. The early bird gets the worm. You get out there and you hustle. You get out there and you put in the work, and it's going to pay off. Look for any financial incentives that you can. Look for any way that you can really put things together. If there's any kind of opportunity, if there's some sort of potential, jump on it. If there's any kind of hesitation, if you're waiting around, if you're not really following through, then you're going to let opportunities slip through your fingers. And we live in the day and age that you have the ability to be what you want to be. And if you need some financial security, the avenue is there. There's plenty of other YouTube channels. There's plenty of other people out there that are showing you exactly step by step the way you should be thinking, the way you should be, dealing with your life and moving forward when it comes to making money and financial stability. That's not my channel, but this is really a lot about racing budgets, because it's even more so than just buying a home. It's even more so than just having some extra, passive income and stuff like that. It's a lot of dough. You're working with a lot of partners and a lot of people that you have to outwork them. You have to outwork anybody else that wants your position. The early bird gets the worm. You look for your financial upcome, anything you can come up with. You really, really do it. You don't have a 9 to 5 mentality. You have to put in some work. You have to think way outside of the box. If you're thinking like a 9 to 5 mentality and you think a paycheck is going to take care of you and get to you where you want to be racing, a lot of times you can barely pay your bills and barely get by and save very minimal with a regular check. If you're making over $100,000 a year, then it's possible, and you can go and just jump right on in and start racing. But if you're doing that, then you're not really in the same boat. I started with nothing. I started out there and I was in a 99 Pathfinder, and I was sleeping in the back of my truck, and I was a restaurant manager, and I had to change the way I thought about things. And being exposed to the right people, really, following through on your checklists, getting out there and hustling your butt off, you'll start to see it. You'll start to see what happens and what the changes come about inside of you. And you have to make big money moves. You can't think that 5-10 years of doing the exact same thing, of barely struggling and barely getting by, is going to get you inside of a world championship race car, or even get you consistently to the track. It's just not going to happen. You have to put in some work, and you have to really do double time. If you're thinking about it, it's like more than 2 full-time jobs. And you work an 8-hour shift. That's 16 hours a day. 2 different jobs back to back, full-time. You have to put in at least 15, 16 hours a day. If you're starting from scratch, then you got to make up some time. You got to make up some money. And it's worth it. The hustle is always worth it because it's yours. You put in the time. Nobody can take it away from you. Not living on borrowed race cars and borrowed time or anything like that. And you have to do it. If you're gonna own your own destiny, if you're gonna not let anybody stop you, that's just a part of it. You get out there and do it. You stay up on the emails, stay up on contacts, and make sure that you're really following through with people. Make sure that you're really the phone calls, the Instagram, the Facebook, YouTube. You have closed groups that you're on with forums, and face-to-face time, whether it's on your phone, whether it's sometimes with emails, or even just in person, that's key. That's where people remember your face. That's where they remember your brand, your style, everything about you. You have to manage your time well, and being able to follow through on all of those contacts and follow through with all the different social media platforms. You have to budget it. You can't just spend it on one. You have to really, really make sure that whichever one is working the best, you spend the most time on. But you have to really kind of think about what you're doing and where you're spending a lot of your time, because you still have a lot of other work to do. It's not just all about the social media. There's a lot of other work that comes with this 24/7 grind. And because you're trying to get your foot in the door, because you're putting in all of this legwork, you get to the point that you start having meetings, and meetings make money. That's just simple and plain. It gets the foot open, your foot in the door. It gets the door open. You're able to have the potential of making money. Let's say that, because not everybody is going to go out there and just hand you everything. You have to be able to really put in the work. If they want to meet for lunch, you better get to that lunch. If they need you to travel somewhere, you get your butt on a plane or jump in your car and get there. It's part of it. You just show up and you get there and you make sure that you make a great first impression. Make it happen. Bring your A game. There's not going to get a second chance. Especially with major reps, they're going to know right off the bat if they're going to, in their gut, going to really hire you on to the team. And you have to close deals. You get out there and make a first good impression, but you close those deals. You really have your intentions, your goals, everything up front, time management, really all the grinding that you've done before that fall into place to close those deals, because that's what you're there to do. And that's what they want to see, the full final product when it comes to people helping you along the way, because racing is a huge team sport. It's not just the race car driver in the car. It's everything that it takes to get to the racetrack, to get started, everything. And you can't do it without outworking your peers, without doing all of these steps, you guys. And the biggest step is knowledge. Knowledge is the money. That's really the golden ticket right there, because if you can always adapt, if you can always keep learning, if your grind has a lot to do with your knowledge, it has everything to do with you really, really getting where you want to be and learning where you want to go, you can't substitute that. If you're hungry and you're really, really, really starving for knowledge, then you're going to get it. Whether it's the position you want, whether it's the type of vehicle you want to race in, any of that. You want to know every last little detail about it. If you're mimicking your career towards someone else's, learn that. Know that. Just, it's there. It's nobody can take it away from you, because you've straight up learned 24/7 on the grind of knowledge, and that will get you there. And just to wrap it up, you guys, the 24/7 grind starts with the knowledge, and then goes into the regular cycle of life. Only so many hours a day. Don't waste your whole life. Get it going on, because it takes a little while, and you have to get it rolling, guys. The early bird gets the worm. Get out there, be motivated, follow through, write these lists, get things banged out, get where you want to go, and find financing. Follow up on any potential. Think way outside of the box. Have big money moves, and stay up on all of your contacts, your emails. Make sure that you're not leaving people hanging. Really get out there. Really do it, the work. Instagram, all that stuff. Self-promote. Be able to have face-to-face time with as many people as you can, whether they're just seeing a clip of you, or you're talking to them directly, or you're at an event. No matter what, face-to-face time, you're building your brand. And you're starting from scratch, so people don't know who you are. Get out there. Make meetings from the time management. Make meetings. Meetings make money. Get your foot in the door and start grinding. Start getting lunches. Travel. Go meet them. Make it happen. Make a great first impression. Close those deals. Get out there and really make it happen when it comes to closing those deals, because that's what's going to get you on the racetrack. This is what it takes. I'm a real racer. I've been out there. I've started from scratch. I've started with a little tiny bit here, a little tiny bit there, kept grinding, kept punching out my list. This is what it takes.
My style. My style. My style. My style. My style. My style.
Make sure to check us out on Instagram under #InstrumentalLLC. If your company needs any testing or feedback for your product or advertising, contact Instrumental LLC And thank you for your time for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed.